Today on Monkey Life, the team is in Vietnam at a very special rescue centre.
We have the perfect opportunity here to provide these guys with a very natural life again and to get them back out into the forest where they belong.
Plus, groundbreaking eye surgery on a golden-cheeked gibbon.
We are putting the lens and how is she doing?
But can it restore her sight? And trouble when Alison tries to rescue a rare silvered langur monkey. This is Monkey World in Dorset, the largest rescue centre for monkeys and apes on the planet. 6,000 miles away lies its sister sanctuary, Dao Tien Rescue Centre. It was started by Dr. Alison Cronin with the help of the Vietnamese government and Ping Tung Rescue Centre in Taiwan. Back home in England, she cares for 240 primates from 15 different species. But she's now also responsible for a growing number of monkeys and apes in Vietnam.
Here on Dao Tien, it's a very different sort of ethos and focus to what we normally do at Monkey World. It isn't about the individuals here so much as it is getting rescued primates back out into the wild and ensuring that they're protected and safe in the wild setting and that the illegal trade doesn't continue.
Dao Tien stands on an island in Vietnam's largest and most diverse conservation zone, Cat Tien National Park. The centre aims to rescue endangered primates, including golden-cheeked gibbons, langurs and loris, and where possible, return them to the wild. Over the last 9 years, Alison has worked with the local authorities to establish the centre.
For us, the very important aspect is that we are not just making a zoo. We do not plan on just keeping the gibbons in the cages. We will plan on getting them into the trees.
In charge of day-to-day operations is Dr. Marina, helped by her team of Vietnamese keepers. Marina was previously based at the Dorset Sanctuary.
This is my passion and I'm actually not missing anything else because I know everyone else in England is being cared for. But here and now, these need your help and I think I can help them.
Marina has travelled 3 hours to Vung Tau to meet up with expat and animal lover Bob Taylor, who lives there.
Mika.
Bob has rescued a variety of rare animals from the pet trade and built accommodation for them at his home. None of his primates are candidates for release back into the wild due to a variety of health reasons, but Marina has been advising him on their care. They both have concerns about Mika, a golden-cheeked gibbon Bob recently found in a Ho Chi Minh City pet store.
I went down there, my driver went down there first to buy food for my birds. And he told me about this monkey in the cage. And I happened to be in Ho Chi Minh City on business at that time. And I went round to have a look. And then in the back room, under this piece of newspaper, they pulled out this box, steel box with Mika in it. And that's basically how I took pity and I couldn't walk away. Absolutely could not walk away. And so I took her home with me, there and then. When we got her home and took her out of the cage, she actually couldn't walk. She'd just shuffle along on her all fours. Her back legs were virtually useless and her arms were so weak, she couldn't raise them up to take a banana out there. You know, that was really how bad she was and sick she was.
She's been in a small cage, in the dark, no sunlight. She's had vitamin deficiency, and her bones have just grown in a 45-degree bend. There's no breaks, they've not been broken, that's how they've grown. So we actually spent a long time welded in that cage, unable to move.
Mika's condition has improved greatly, thanks to Bob's care. And with freedom to move around, her muscles have begun to build up. But Bob discovered Mika had another major problem. Cataracts covering both eyes meant she was only partially sighted. Now the cataracts have thickened, leaving her blind in both eyes. But after exhaustive research, Marina has come up with a solution.
We've actually found some of the best eye surgeons in the world who are in Vietnam, and they've very, very happily agreed to help Mika. They believe very strongly in the welfare and the wildlife of Vietnam. They've all come in, volunteered on a Saturday to come in, use their best equipment, their best technology to try and restore Mika's sight.
The top surgeons from Ho Chi Minh City Hospital normally operate on human patients. A training hospital has offered their facilities for the operation, which has never been attempted before on a gibbon.
There are a lot of things that can go wrong, so it is a very, very special and very, very difficult case for us.
Cataracts are a clouding that develops in the lens of the eye, which prevents light entering it. It's a common problem in humans and often easily rectified with minor surgery.
You're such a good girl.
But they're replacing the lenses on Mika, not just removing the cataracts.
Good girl, Mika.
Monkey World vet Femke gives Mika a jab to put her under.
If you can pull it back, look.
Anesthetics are always a risk, and it's a tense time for the medical team.
I'll now give her the eye drops. They are to dilate her pupils.
Femke, I think you want to keep her face up so the eye drop will not run out.
Like this?
Yep, like that.
It's unclear whether Mika's eye problems are hereditary or developed because of her time in captivity.
Lovely. Găng tay vô.
The plan is to remove the lenses from both of Mika's eyes and replace them with artificial ones, approximately the same size as needed for a child. First, precise measurements are taken to determine the size of the artificial lenses she'll need. Dr. Tien uses a high-power microscope to help him make the first incision. He then removes the lenses and cleans the eye to remove any residue. But there's a worrying discovery.
It is more like a congenital cataract.
So she got it when she was born, really?
Right.
Yeah.
And if this is truly a congenital cataract, there is a possibility that her retina cell have not developed well compared to other gibbon without cataract.
This adds a new element to Mika's sight problem, but the team decide to carry on, delicately place the new lenses, then secure them with stitches.
This is very, very likely that she will see a lot better than before.
That's fantastic.
With surgery over, Mika slowly comes round from the anaesthetic.
Usually in humans, after cataract surgery, they will put some eye cover on the eyes, but with Mika, that will make her so stressed because she will think, what's covering my eyes? And she's a wild animal, and we cannot tell her, you have to leave it on there, leave your eyes alone. So we decided against it and to leave her without, so hopefully we'll be fine. We have to keep her in the dark right now because her pupils are dilated because of the drugs. So if she sees too much light at once, that will hurt her and can damage her retina.
All in all, I do believe that she will see a lot better than before.
That's great.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Well, we're happy too, that's for sure.
Yeah, so keep sending us more animal cataract. We will be more happy.
Every Saturday.
Mika heads home to Bob and the other rescued gibbons. But will she be able to see them? Primates are kept as pets and as tourist attractions all over Asia, and the team know they can't rescue them all. But today, Alison and Marina are on their way to Saigon. They're heading for a city restaurant where Alison spotted an endangered silvered langur monkey on her last visit. Mr. Tan, head of Dao Tien National Park, has been in negotiations with the owner.
Tan has arranged, I think, for the langur to be donated willingly. So we're really pleased we don't have to organize the police or anything like that today. Hopefully with their cooperation, not only are we going to rescue the langur, but hopefully they'll stop trading in primates.
Maybe in the future he might start to support conservation, stop taking in wild animals, and just look after the ones he has, and slowly over time just reduce in size.
Alison has been aware of the restaurant for some time. In 2006, she went there with her late husband, Jim Cronin, who started Monkey World. They filmed this distressing footage. Then the restaurant was famous for serving bear bile, a traditional Eastern medicine, said to be a cure for many ailments and for which there is now a synthetic substitute.
So, how many? 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. How many bears?
Alison and Jim discovered more than 100 Asiatic bears held in small cages.
Now, I know you'd have muscle wastage in tiny cages like this, but their back ends are just really bad, everybody's.
There were also many endangered species, including golden cats, tigers, and clouded leopards. The bears would be sedated and wheeled out on trolleys to the restaurant tables, where bile would be extracted from the live animal and fed to paying customers. In Vietnam, the practice has now been outlawed and the government is cracking down, but the trade still persists there and elsewhere in the world. This restaurant appears to have stopped this barbaric practice, although wild animals are still on show. The team have worked hard to get the owner on side, but it's not a done deal, and everything has to be handled very delicately.
I've got Marina right now, has gone with a young man to survey back behind where we knew that there were loads of other animals as well. So she's having a quick shufty around to see what else might be here, and we're just going to see the boy. But I've asked everybody if it's okay, and they said okay. But we might get apprehended yet.
And just as Alison catches sight of the caged silvered langur,
We will stop. Don't worry. Excuse me. Dr. Him, perhaps you could explain. We just asked the owner, and he said okay.
But news of the agreement between Alison and the restaurant owner hasn't reached the on-site staff, and her path has been blocked.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem. No problem.
With the silvered langur just feet away, Alison needs to quickly defuse the situation until the boss can be found.
It's no problem. I would not do this unless I asked.
Tantalizingly close to the endangered animal, Alison grows more concerned about his condition.
I come here 9 months ago, and he was a bit bigger. So I think he is losing weight. He is losing condition. I think we are lucky to come when we do, because I think he will die eventually if he keeps losing weight. Yeah, he's skinny now.
With her path obstructed, Alison can only hope the restaurant owner is found soon.
I wonder how Marina's going.
Marina arrives with the Vietnamese team and the rescue cage. But with Alison's access denied so far, there's no guarantee it'll be used.
Marina, we have to stay here. They're being very fierce right now.
Okay.
How do you go?
We saw 2 leopards, and lots of chickens, and lots and lots of empty cages.
Yeah, no, I think this place is folding up, which is the problem.
Finally, the owner is found, and with the help of Mr. Tien, Alison works hard to defuse a tense situation.
If you could translate for me.
Yeah.
Monkey World has worked with 16 different governments around the world, always in cooperation with central government. We never buy animals, we never try and go in and take them ourselves. We would like to work in cooperation with everybody. We do not mean to cause trouble for anybody We just would like to make a nice life for the monkey. So I appreciate your assistance. Thank you very much.
Chị nói là chị đã từng làm với 16 quốc gia khác nhau.
With the owner showing his public support, his staff relax and the recovery can begin.
You're happy for them to film putting the monkey in the box?
Yes.
Okay.
Sociable silvered langurs behave very differently from gibbons. They're leapers rather than swingers and move around in much larger groups. This small male can move around his cage, but he has a chipped tooth and an abscess. More importantly, he's desperately lonely and craves attention. This critically endangered species is notoriously difficult to keep in captivity and can get very stressed.
We have better net. If they would wait, I would prefer it that they wait. See, this is a problem. They are just going to wind him up.
Alison knows it's very important to keep this animal as calm as possible.
He's thinking. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Watch the tail. Oh, no, too soon. And you have to be careful of the tail. As soon as he starts to go in, maybe he can push him in the rest of the way. Well done. We will get you.
You're very light.
Excellent job, well done. Actually went really smoothly and quite pleased. Didn't have to give any sedation or anything. He's really very happy. I think he's got a load of nice fruit and he seems quite calm in the cage, so it's now just a couple of hours to the national park.
He's skinny, maybe older than we thought. I think he might be an oldish man. But yeah, he's lovely.
But I expect just getting him back to a more natural setting with people who know how to care for him, I think that he's going to respond really positively, getting the physical things done like the broken teeth. He's going to be a new little monkey, and it's just really exciting and what we're all about.
Marina and Alison have stopped off in Vung Tau to see expat animal lover Bob Taylor and little Mika, the golden-cheeked gibbon. And the news is good. The groundbreaking surgery to remove cataracts on her eyes and replace her lenses has met with success.
She's looking good, isn't she?
The pre-existing retina damage in her left eye means only 30% of the vision has returned. But her right eye now has 100% vision.
She just took it all in her stride. There was
Just
no
as though
difference.
she'd never lost her sight at all. It's just though it was just normal and natural. We were so surprised, weren't we?
And
Because
little Jin, her main
yeah.
friend. Yeah, I know Jin. She's my mate, and I'll protect her even more now that I can see her and make sure that no one's causing any trouble.
and she certainly does that. Well, I'm happy now. She's getting around there and she's ruling the roost. Now she can see they don't take her food away from her. She takes it from them. Yeah? It's really good.
Mika will never be able to look after herself in the wild, but she can now look forward to life being cared for by Bob and his team and surrounded by other gibbons. Alison and Marina's workload is constant and their days are long. They're on their way back to the rescue centre with the rare silvered langur. It's a tiring half-day journey by boat and road, and they're anxious to get him settled. The silvered langur will have to remain isolated from other gibbons until he's passed his health checks, but he'll have plenty to eat.
Langurs are leaf eaters. Now, the different species, you know, Duke langurs, silvery langurs, they all have different tolerances to levels of sugar. So in the wild, they'd all be eating sort of leaves and basically unripe, pithy fruits that have very little sugar in them. And you can see already he's quite interested. But he's not entirely sure because I think already in captivity, you know, they've been feeding him a lot of sweet fruits, and so the bitter ones don't taste so nice. So it's a slow and steady process, and one that we begin on the first day here at Dao Tien, really. Marina and her team have a lot of work ahead of them here on Dao Tien. We've got, you know, monkeys and apes coming in that need a lot of care and support, both physically and mentally, and, you know, trying to get them to a state from captivity where they've suffered, some of them, terrible, terrible abuse, back into a fit state to go back to the wild is an enormous task. And it's, you know, quite daunting when you sort of consider it from where some of them have come from to where we want to get them back to. But you just have to stay focused and take each day at a time, and eventually you win the war and get them back out into the forest where they belong.
Next time on Monkey Life. Wintry weather means flu jabs for the chimps.
Yeah.
And an anxious morning at the woolly monkey house.
They discovered little Raoul on his back in one of the tunnels.